Listen, those karmic relationships, they weren't about them. They were about you, every single one. The chaotic one, where you felt like you were begging for crumbs, that was you, begging yourself to pay attention. The one that felt safe, but you sabotaged it, that was you refusing to believe you deserved calm. The one that burned too hot and left you empty, that was you running from the parts of yourself you didn't want to face. Here's the kicker. The person across from you was always a reflection of where you were at. Always. When you were fractured, they showed up fractured. When you were desperate, they mirrored that hunger back at you. And when you started to heal, suddenly their energy shifted, or they left. Because the lesson wasn't about fixing them, it was about seeing yourself. You think it's coincidence that the same patterns keep showing up? It's not. It's you, past, present, and future versions of you, colliding in real time. The reason you're still thinking about that one person, it's not them. It's the version of you that existed with them. The version you maybe loved or maybe hated, but the version you needed to meet to get here. So stop asking why it happened. Start asking, what did it show me about where I abandoned myself? That's the only question that matters. Because the next relationship, it'll mirror whatever the hell you finally decided to embody. Grounded, safe, loved, that's what'll stare back at you. But you've got to be it first. Right now, in this moment, you are on a mission that changes everything. You're not just thinking, you're communicating with your higher self. That voice, that pull, that knowing, that's not coincidence. That's the universe whispering, "You are my child, and it's time to wake up." You see the visions now, don't you? The colors, the possibilities, the life that's waiting for you. So vivid, it's like you can touch it. But here's the thing, those visions aren't just pretty dreams, they're bones. The skeleton of the life you're meant to build, and they're yours. Every piece, every spark, they're already connected to you. But first you have to go through, not around, not over, through. The mess, the fear, the echoes of old wars in your mind. Those battles you keep replaying, the shadows that make you second guess, they're not real, not unless you let them be. You change the perspective, you decide what's true. Because what looks like a wasteland, that's just unplanted ground. What feels like a war zone, that's just energy waiting for you to direct it. You're not lost, you're being guided. But the path doesn't appear while you're standing still, staring at the ground. It appears when you move, when you trust that every step is taking you where you need to go, even when you can't see the whole road. Especially when you can't see it, so move. The universe isn't asking you to have it all figured out. It's asking you to believe in what you feel, to take the visions and build them, to stop waiting for permission and realize you're already holding the keys. This is your moment. What you see ahead isn't a mirage, it's a mirror. The life, the love, the power, it's all yours. But you've got to walk into it. Vibration is everything. Your storm is someone else's soil. Listen, the same situation that destroys one person becomes the foundation for another. Why? Vibration. What you're made of, what you're choosing to be made of, decides whether life hands you wreckage or wisdom. You think bad things happen to you? No. They happen for you. But only if you're tuned to the frequency that turns chaos into creation. Some people drown in the same storm that teaches others how to swim. Some people crumble under pressure, while others use it to build bones, strong, unshakable, the kind that holds up a life worth living. Here's the truth. Your struggles aren't random, they're assignments. And what you do with them? That's your answer to the universe. You can let pain rot inside you, or you can let it fertilize you. You can let betrayal make you bitter, or you can let it teach you boundaries so sharp they cut out everything that isn't for you. The same heartbreak that leaves one person hollow becomes the fire that forges another into something unbreakable. The same failure that wrecks one person's confidence becomes the exact lesson another needed to level up. It was never about what happened, it's about what you decided it meant. And when you start speaking from that place, when your pain becomes your power, you don't just heal yourself. You become a beacon, your story, your survival, your transformation? It becomes a language stronger than words. It becomes proof that what was meant to break you can build you instead. So ask yourself, what frequency are you on? Victim or alchemist? Fear or fuel? Because the universe isn't listening to your words, it's answering your vibration. You want the better things? Be the better vibration. And watch how fast the world rearranges itself to match you. The lessons were necessary. Stop mourning the lost time. You think you wasted a time? You didn't. You invested it. Every tear, every mistake, every heartache, those weren't detours. They were the exact path you needed to walk to see what you see now. Could you have been happier sooner? Maybe. But would you have understood? No. The version of you that skipped the pain would have also skipped the depth, the strength, the knowing you have now. And that's priceless. You're looking back, wondering, what if I had done it differently? But what if you couldn't have? What if you needed to be that lost, that hurt, that uncertain, just so you could recognize the light when it finally came? Stop grieving what you lost. You didn't lose. You learned. And now? Now you get to use those lessons like a weapon, like a key, like a map to everything better. The happiness, the peace, the manifestations you want. And go claim what's yours. The past wasn't a mistake. It was the only way to get here. And here's where the real magic starts. You were never just light. You were a storm of stars. You thought you were supposed to be all bright, all pure, all love and light. But that wasn't the truth, was it? You had shadows, sparks that flickered like warnings, moments where you saw the darkness in others and in yourself and didn't know what to do with it. Here's the revelation. You weren't meant to be just light. You were meant to be alive. A constellation of contradictions, emotions, fire and ice, and raw, untamed truth. That white you saw in yourself, the parts you thought were pure but sometimes burned too hot, that wasn't a flaw. That was power learning its own edges. You had to reflect. You had to see the shadows, in others, in yourself, not to judge them, but to navigate them, to learn when to soften and when to armor up, when to burn and when to cradle the flame. That was never weakness. That was activation. Your body, your soul, they were always preparing you. Every reaction, every defense, every time you loved too hard or walked away too late, it was all gathering data, all teaching you how to move in this world. And now you know. You don't have to be just one thing. You can be soft and sharp. You can be light and lightning. The past wasn't a mistake. It was the training ground for the magic you're stepping into now. So look ahead. The manifestations coming? They're not just dreams. They're echoes of the battles you've already won. The stars in you aren't just shining. They're ready to collide. Let them.